Kang challenges him, asking why he is celebrating a monarch's death now. The masked figure then advises the Hero King not to provoke monarchs. He even asks if Kang prefers being called the Monarch Slayer instead. That is the name Kang earned by eliminating the massive season boss. But the Red Guardian refuses to acknowledge a brat won that title. He feels like something definitely needs to be done about this brat. Regardless, the masked man insists this is a celebration for the players. He hopes they won't feel stressed, but the Red Guardian instantly attacks. He yells at the masked man, asking if this is a joke. He screams that 100 million lives are not a damn celebration. Kang just watches, finding the Red Guardian to be absolutely pathetic here. You and I can see he is just acting tough for the public. The masked man then tells the Guardian his attacks are completely pointless. They are all nullified. With a snap, he starts explaining the rules. He tells every single viewer watching to vote for their favorite player. Soon, the broadcast audience will decide who becomes the tower's hero. Kang gets annoyed, complaining that the system could easily rig the votes. But the masked man quickly reaches out and covers Kang's mouth shut. He warns Kang to be careful since they have strict rules here. The masked man explains their mission is simple: grab the viewer interest. Exactly how they do it is totally up to the players themselves. Individual votes turn into points, but if the final counts are too low, the raid fails, and a failed raid means millions of people die. So the masked man tells them all it is time to move. Trust me, you and I are about to see an epic show. Stick with me, we are starting a duel where death is just a respawn. Kang immediately asks why he even has to bother fighting these guys. The masked man says challenges are mandatory. You simply cannot say no here. He adds that even if someone dies here, they will just wake up again. The arena is locked until the voting for the tower is officially finished. Before the blades clash, our protagonist has one quick question for his opponent. He asks the Red Guardian if he really wants another beating after last time. The Guardian snaps back. If he cannot win, his votes do not mean a thing. He is determined to fix his past failure on the very first day of the season. Fueled by pure hatred and rage, he launches himself forward like a bullet. Kang, on the other hand, decides to play some mind games to stir things up. He mocks him, saying hitting rock bottom must feel pathetic. The Guardian loses it. Taking the bait, he strikes with a fury that is 10 times more intense. Watch closely, everyone is shocked by what the Hero King is doing. He is holding his own against the Guardian, and he is not just using swords. Somehow, he is using the Guardian's own secret techniques right back at him perfectly. The Gravedigger realizes this is not just luck, this has to be a copy skill. Even the Red Guardian feels it. He wonders if Kang contracted with the Mirror Monarch. He dedicated his whole life to that sword. He is confused how he is losing. It makes no sense. How can he lose his own specialty to a total stranger? Outside the ring, the Gravedigger watches the Hero King and finds the display magnificent. He wonders out loud how any of them could ever hope to kill this man. Lydia asks why he is worried. After all, he is not the one fighting. The Gravedigger tells her she is blind. She needs to look at what is happening. You and I need to hear this. The real threat is the players themselves. Lydia finally sees it. She cannot believe these players are still fighting among themselves. Meanwhile, the Saint is the only one who is actually bothered by this chaos. She knows that 100 million lives depend on what happens in this tower. But the players, they only care about ego and reaching the very top floor. Maria suddenly remembers the words from Kang's old speech about human nature. He said even if the world ended tomorrow, people would still find reasons to fight. Now Maria realizes he was right. Humans never change, even when facing the end. Back in the early days, everyone entered this tower with a dream to save humanity. But those days are gone. She cannot help but wonder why things got so dark. Players get stronger, sure, but the tower gets more dangerous with every passing year. The bosses are becoming impossible. They are getting ridiculously, terrifyingly powerful as time goes. The idea of everyone working together for the world, it feels like a fairy tale. Maria is not that naive girl who just awakened her powers long ago anymore. Races are different, religions are different, even skin colors are different. If they cannot unite even now, Maria doubts they will ever save the world. Back in the arena, the battle rages on as the Red Guardian feels unsettled. Everything about this feels wrong. This fight is completely unfair, and he knows it. He thinks he finally understands the king. Strength like this has a hidden source. He is certain Kang is hiding a secret power deep within his soul. And trust me, we are about to see if his secret finally breaks. Stick with me, you and I are about to see an insane power gap. The Red Guardian stopped caring about winning, he just wanted to know his secret. But he was losing bad. Kang told him he'd forgotten his place here. Kang mocked him, saying he'd been going easy this whole time. Absolute disrespect. That statement paralyzed the Guardian. Kang didn't wait, lunging with massive force. The Red Guardian realized way too late that his opponent was hiding massive secrets. Then Kang shouted that he'd show the true difference in their levels right now. He wanted a warning for anyone else brave enough to challenge him ever again. Suddenly, Kang unleashed a devastating ground attack that shattered the arena floor. It tore through the battlefield. The Red Guardian was left in total shock. Now pay attention here. This is where the main character shows his true colors. Kang activated his secondary deck, bursting from a sandstorm with a brand new look. The crowd was speechless. Standing there, he looked completely different. The Red Guardian finally lost all hope. There was no way he could win. The main character had manifested a mythical ability, the power of the celestial demon. Kang transformed, wielding 3 legendary celestial demon swords. Entering his first form, he ripped open a dimensional chasm of pure, raw energy. It sliced the Guardian from every direction, leaving him bleeding out instantly. Then Kang activated his second form, a terrifying power called destruction. The other players couldn't believe their eyes. It was absolute annihilation in seconds. The Red Guardian went down fast, faster than anyone thought was possible. The masked man stepped in and declared the match over. Kang was the victor. He praised the Hero King for an epic performance. Then, the voting officially began. Kang's numbers climbed fast, but the red player stayed stuck at 0 votes. You saw that, right? Our hero is looking like a villain. The gravedigger was visibly shaken. Kang Yusung had become someone completely unrecognizable. Even the girls were terrified, but the audience loved every bit of the carnage. Some players noticed something weird. Kang copied the gravedigger's gear and skills. 2 friends whispered, wondering if Kang was even a human being like them anymore. His friend snapped back, reminding him that Kang was the reason they were alive. The name was simple. From now on, everyone would call him the Hero King. Kang looked at the stunned faces and asked if they were surprised. The gravedigger argued a simple copying ability couldn't explain that demonic transformation. Lydia stepped in, agreeing that this wasn't just some basic copycat trick. She'd fought a copy user before, the Face Collector, a high-ranking black player. That guy was a monster who literally sliced off faces to steal their powers. Lydia admitted Kang's skill felt similar, but insisted there were limits to copying. Kang just chuckled, explaining he had more than just one simple ability. He mocked them for trying to keep poker faces while dying of curiosity. Finally, he agreed to tell them one thing, just one single truth. Kang dropped a bombshell. He'd made a pact with the Monarch of Truth. Because of that, he can only speak the truth. No lies allowed, ever. As the world shifted, Jor the Gravedigger prepared to be the next opponent. But Kang shot back, saying he actually hates fighting and aggressive idiots. Yorkville Mayor stepped up. Trust me, he is clueless. Stick with me, we are about to see exactly what Kang is planning next. He wants to convince the audience with one simple, cold truth. Masked Man interrupts, saying self-promotion is key. Then the stage moves and Kang is ready. He taps the microphone, asking if everyone is finally paying attention to him. Kang says they have no choice anyway. Suddenly, he sees his face on television. He changes the channel himself. Regardless, he announces 10 heroes are in the tower. Everyone needs to vote. If the turnout is too low, people start dying. 100 million people get a one-way trip to oblivion. Voting is that important. Kang points out that even the worst terrorists became presidents with enough public votes. If things go wrong, the same fate could happen to their beloved national heroes. The gravedigger tries to warn Kang to watch his words, but Kang isn't having it. He shoots back, asking what the problem is. Is the old man just annoyed? Kang mocks the heroes, asking why people still revere them so much after everything. It is bizarre how they are worshipped, especially considering the dark history between them. Now pay attention, because Kang is about to expose a secret he shouldn't know. He sarcastically asks if the gravedigger's dream of reviving the Third Empire is secret. The old man demands to know how Kang dares to insult him like that. He wants evidence, but Kang just smirks. He has a contract with the truth. That contract with the monarch means he can expose anyone's lies and dirty secrets. He declares that everything he just said is 100% the absolute truth. No arguments, so Kang tells the viewers they better vote carefully and choose wisely. He warns them, there aren't just one or two lunatics hiding among these players. Now watch this, Kang is about to drop a name that shocks everyone. Count Vladimir is blindsided. He stammers, claiming he has no idea what is happening. But Kang just raises an eyebrow. He says that is odd, given Vladimir's history. Especially since Vladimir himself had spoken about bringing back the old Third Empire. The Count frantically tries to shut him up, but that only fuels Kang more. He keeps going, airing out the Count's dirty laundry for the entire world to see. Kang even taunts him. If something is bothering Vladimir, he should just wait his turn. The Count roars, declaring he won't tolerate this level of public humiliation anymore. Not while his parents and the president are watching this entire disaster unfold live. Kang adds that Vladimir is a devout man, even with his powerful fire magic. Next, Kang goes after Lieutenant General Kilgore. He claims Kilgore also loves the fire. He is not talking metaphorically. He is talking about Kilgore's secret habit of bombing. We are talking about secret air raids dropped on enemy countries without any mercy. Kilgore gets nervous, asking if Kang understands the consequences of these dangerous words. Kang responds with a firm yes. He knows exactly what he is doing here. He declares that for real heroes. A nationalist lunatic like the old gravedigger, an imperialist like Vladimir, and a war fanatic like Kilgore are all opportunists. And Kang warns that the people watching definitely won't be happy to hear that. Kilgore, furious, tries to attack Kang, but Kang blocks him with zero effort. Him instantly asking what that was about. Kilgore snaps back, asking if Kang is underestimating him. If only he knew what Kang has planned. The girls scream that this crazy general is trying to kill our main character. Trust me, you and I need to see this insane finish. Stick with me, you and I are about to see a total game changer. Kilgore was fuming, demanding to know how Kang copied his signature move. Kang just shrugged, telling him that exclusive skills aren't so special anymore. Then, George Belmere, the gravedigger, stepped up with a serious look. He asked if the hero king really felt safe insulting his comrades. Kang fired back, asking George if they even were real allies. Would real comrades try to stab him in the back the second they got a chance? The gravedigger tried to play it off as a simple misunderstanding. But Kang wasn't buying it. He reminded everyone about his Truth Monarch contract. He knew all their dirty secrets and saw right through their fake act. They'd been doing whatever they wanted for years, but now cameras were rolling. Now that they were on camera, Kang challenged them for acting so worried. Pay attention here, this is where he says he can keep speaking truths. He knew the world wasn't actually going to change its ways. George Belmere then asked if the hero king was just a spoiled brat. Kang snapped back that he was a child who couldn't handle these old men. This attitude thrilled the clown monarch, who decided to grant him a wish. Right after that, the celestial demon finally started to manifest. The gravedigger just watched, confused about what the hero was even planning. Meanwhile, Kang knew his wish was active and about to become reality. The masked man announced the main character's time was finally up. He said it was time for another hero to have their turn. Maria stepped forward, claiming she had something massive to tell the public. The masked man shifted the scene. giving Maria total freedom to speak. Kang thought her chosen setting was weird, but the saint quickly shut him up. She told him to stop talking because it was finally her turn now. Kang didn't flinch, calling her darling just to mess with her head. Maria then declared she'd show the world the real hero king right now. You and I can feel the tension rising as the entire audience gets anxious. He tried to interfere, but Maria just taunted him, asking what was wrong. Kang then wondered if it was already too late for an apology. The tower was finally complete, and the voting results were about to drop. The protagonist checked the data, confused until he realized the votes were rigged. But he didn't care because he'd already won what he deserved from the start. His system confirmed he'd successfully obtained the celestial demon manifestation. Now he held all 3 divine relics and the mythological equipment. Plus, he had a legendary title and a powerful brand new skill. Only 3 months had passed, and he hadn't opened the Black Death gear yet. That was the prize he earned for crushing the Pestilence Lord earlier. Look, mythological skills and weapons are not for every average fighter. You must be qualified, or your stats will drop and you might die. Even the Red Guardian took a massive penalty for losing just once. But our main character had tried this before in the very last season. Trust me, you and I are about to see something truly epic. He finally activated the celestial demon. All right, stick with me because Kang is finally manifesting his power for the first time. The system demands he prove his worth, then suddenly he is zapped away. An old man stands waiting to test him, but Kang just wants a deal. He hopes this goes fast, just like last season, as the system initializes. The trial begins. He just needs to block 2 moves from the celestial demon. The legend prepares to strike, and Kang immediately senses something is very wrong. The Elder unleashes the celestial demon's triple sword technique right from the start. It is blindingly fast, but Kang barely manages to hold his ground and defend. He admits this is getting exciting, seeing a move he has faced once before. Watch this next part closely. The old man strikes again, but the power scales. The impact releases massive energy that even the old man can actually feel. He sheathes his sword, realizing our hero carries a brand new, powerful title. Kang asks if he means the Monarch Slayer, and the Elder looks shocked. He asks if Kang truly earned that legendary rank, and Kang simply nods. Kang wonders if this Elder will always appear during every future celestial summons. The old man is still reeling. Kang asks if something is actually wrong. The Elder simply says he likes him, then the entire reality starts shifting. Everything moves. Kang demands an answer, but the opponent just ignores his plea. He lunges, telling Kang to finally show off his true swordsmanship. They are fighting again. Kang is lost, thinking the test was already finished. The Elder refuses to stop. Kang warns him that he might actually kill him. The old man points out that the hero's sword is still heavily enchanted. He asks if this was used to kill the monarch, doubting Kang's true victory. If so, he won't recognize him as a winner. Kang snaps right back. How else was he supposed to win against a god, using only himself? He explains that he only used what he had to find greater strength. He traveled far for this power. Surprisingly, the old man actually seems to agree. Okay, you and I are about to see this test take a crazy turn. He slams his foot down, causing an earthquake before diving back into the fray. But this time, it is pure hand-to-hand combat. Kang is totally baffled. He does not understand why the Elder is pushing so hard for reasons. The truth comes out. It is because our main character killed a monarch. The Elder claims the answer Kang seeks is actually hidden deep within himself. Kang is terrified, but the celestial demon gives him absolutely no time to breathe. He pulls the triple sword again, daring the boy to try and stop it. Kang is completely disoriented, caught in a situation he was not ready for. He is confused after the attack. No injury, no blood, not even a cut. He has no idea what was even hit. The demon explains his long search. He spent his entire life searching the world for a fighter to beat him. No matter where he traveled, he never lost. Defeat was a foreign concept. Even when death itself came calling, the Reaper could not touch this man. The demon still could not find anyone strong enough to finally take him down. He wondered if such a person existed. Every Mirim master from every empire failed. Even God's Reaper fell short against his blade. Everything in the world felt useless. But as you and I are discovering, this was only the very beginning. All right, stick with me because we are watching a mortal do the impossible, killing a monarch. It made him wonder if Kang was truly special, or just another easy target to crush. He wanted to see Kang's true worth. Those heavy words forced our hero to reflect. His entire life flashed by. Then, he remembered the saint's words from back in the tower. She had called him kinder than anyone could imagine, with a heart far too soft. But she also labeled him a crybaby and a coward, even a pampered child. Especially when his friends died. He actually cried for a full week straight back then. Devastated by the sacrifices of a failed raid, all the saint could do was listen. She sat through his endless complaints. Remembering this only made Kang feel more isolated. In that silence, the celestial demon told him he would eventually find his answer. But Kang wondered what answer he even needed. Was it about the meaning of defeat? The meaning of death, or maybe life itself? This level of depth actually surprised the demon. He was shocked Kang was even still alive, but our hero couldn't forget the saint. Because no matter the odds, she insisted that Kang would never, ever give up. Now watch this, despite the pain and fear, Kang just kept pushing forward for everyone. He fought for a world that might not even matter, even if everything felt totally meaningless. Kang argued that you can only shatter physical things, not something intangible like a purpose. Meaning itself is unbreakable. He asked if that wasn't the demon's own core principle. The secret behind that legendary triple sword technique. The demon was left speechless. He finally admitted he had actually died ages ago. He couldn't defeat a literal ghost. He couldn't crush a meaning that didn't exist. He was stunned by Kang's sheer audacity. How could this kid claim to be on his level, if Kang truly understood the void? Then he couldn't possibly be a hero king. Was he just an idiot protecting nothing? Guarding something totally worthless, Kang shot back that it wasn't about duty at all. You and I see it now. He does it precisely because it's all so meaningless. Heroes work tirelessly to save the world, defending their home over and over again. But the other side, just endless lunatics launching attack after attack with no end. The celestial demon laughed, asking what on earth could be more pointless than that cycle. He finally agreed it was all a waste of time, so he sheathed his sword. He walked away, telling Kang he actually looked forward to their next fated encounter. Suddenly, the system declared Kang a worthy player. He just shrugged and headed home. Just another day in the life of a hero. Then, the system dropped a bombshell. He could finally use the celestial demon's true power, but then Kang just collapsed, scaring the life out of his cat. Later, we see Kang desperately checking his temperature. Blackie, the cat, was judging him for being so weak. Kang immediately started denying everything. He swore he wasn't weak. His stats are literally the best on the entire planet. The cat kept prying, but Kang insisted he was fine. He was just annoyed at internet trolls. He claimed he needed to clear a tier 8 or 9 tower just to vent. But Blackie pointed out those high-tier towers don't even exist in this world yet. Kang checked his calendar, only March. He remembered that from his past life experience. The big towers usually show up later, so he still had a full month left. Besides, those advanced towers weren't even located within his own country's borders anyway. Once they open, he can dive right in like a pro gamer. For now, though, he wanted to hit a tier 7 tower, but Blackie told him to stay put. Trust me, you and I know Kang too well. He's already sneaking out again. All right, you and I are back at that 3-tier tower Kang just found. It looks exactly like the one he cleared earlier this season, just a copy. He was not hunting for loot. Kang just needed to blow off some steam. He prepares to use his new power, laughing at how ridiculous skill names sound. But the moment he summons the celestial demon manifestation, his body feels totally wrong. Suddenly, the system flashes a warning. The celestial demon is actually influencing him. Kang's body begins to warp and he even starts coughing up blood. This is bad. Naturally, he starts cursing the old man who gave him this sketchy power. The system announces the receptacle is complete. Now, the final adjustments are starting. Through the agony, Kang realizes he has actually gained the celestial demon's power permanently. Confirmation pops up. He just acquired the legendary celestial demon bone blessing trait. Now he wonders if his entire body has been rewritten from the inside out. Watch closely, because we are about to see this bone transformation happen firsthand. It is all happening internally, though. His exterior looks exactly the same as before. Then the system warns him. The floor collapses, linking him straight to level 2. Out of nowhere, a pack of orcs lunges at him, perfect timing for Kang. He finally has the chance to test what this new power can really do. After crushing them all, he notices a third basic move he never had before. Why does it have no name, or why was it not in the skill? Then it clicks. This is the Void Sword, the same technique used against him. Now that Kang has it, he wonders how much power he can really handle. He is about to find out. A gate just opened and he is going in. The sync rate is stuck at 1%. The system screams a merger is starting. A merger with the Death-Throne Monarch, the Sword Monarch, is happening right now. This was totally unexpected. The Lord of Penance is trying to stop the ritual. Kang starts wondering, was the celestial demon actually one of these monarchs too? He remembers the demon mentioned, searching for a supreme fighter who once defeated him. That was the first time Kang had ever met a mere mortal who killed a monarch. Kang puts it all together. Was that why the demon was acting so strange? Let that sink in. Did the demon recognize Kang as a monarch killer? As he processes this, the system warns that several monarchs are secretly watching him. The clown monarch stares back with an empty look. Kang is pretty surprised. The clown asks why he is so serious. Kang just walks through the gate. Honestly, these monarchs are terrifying. But anyway, he is in the boss room now. The boss demands an honorable fight before Kang dies. Talk about being overconfident. Kang plans to do just that, well, minus the part where he dies. With one strike of his new skill, he literally shatters the boss into pieces. Finally, the true, terrifying power of the celestial demon is fully revealed. But afterward, a sharp, stabbing pain hits him. He has no clue why. He realizes he pushed too hard. His body cannot handle this ability yet. These conflicting powers are fighting for dominance inside him. Then, he hears the voice. The celestial demon whispers that nothing in this world makes any sense. Is it a memory? Kang decides the origin doesn't matter. The power belongs to him now. He channels the demon's strength through his frozen sword and somehow gains control. He sighs in relief. Trust me, you and I just witnessed something epic. Let's dive into a world where our main character, Kang, is losing his cool. He vents to his friend Park, joking he might just pack up for France. Kang says it is nothing big, he just needs a solid training partner. Park laughs, asking when the intelligence agency became the Hero King's personal staff. Kang fires back, maybe they should just rename it Hero King and Company. Park is all business though, demanding to know the terms of this fight. Kang says they can prepare however they like. He is only using one power today, the celestial demon manifestation. No decks and no artifacts are allowed. Plus, Blackie is staying out of this battle completely. Park is surprised. No ice blacksmith, no legendary weapons from the past. Kang says he is about to equip something brand new right now. Now watch this, the moment he equips it, the entire room freezes. It is not just a weapon. Kang has a totally different, terrifying look. Manager Park and the boys are stunned. Acidic drops start melting the floor. Everyone gasps as he lifts the blades, perfectly matching his demonic new form. Park is watching closely, wondering if this is the Lord of Pestilence's power. He tries talking to Kang, but the main character is stone-cold silent. The manager starts panicking. He asks if Kang even passed his secret exam. Finally, Kang shifts his stance. He would never fail a test that simple. Everyone finally breathes again. That new look really had them on edge. These twin blades called Black Death carry the deadly Lord of Pestilence's stats. They boast insane power. Now, Kang rushes everyone to enter the tower. He explains that besides these blades and his demon form, he has nothing. Park makes him promise one thing, do not actually kill the boys. Kang agrees, promising to go easy. He walks to the center, ready. He tells them the fight starts the second those fireworks hit the sky. They can attack whenever. He expects the assassin department to actually be good. You and I both know what happens next. The carnage is about to begin. The assassins charge instantly, but our hero king is a total beast. He retaliates immediately, dropping several hunters before they can even blink. Some are tough, but Kang keeps them at bay with zero effort. Manager Park sees an opening, attacking from a distance while Kang is busy. But Kang is never distracted. He spots his old friend moving high above. Park fires his heart crusher, but Kang just laughs at the predictable move. He says he won't fall for that, but Park just grins and vanishes. Suddenly, a barrage of canes rockets toward Kang. He barely dodges them all. But hold on, those canes were not just simple projectiles to be avoided. Strong wires connect them, allowing other assassins to literally walk on air. Kang is impressed by the trap, but he launches a counterattack immediately. This is Charlotte's web. Whoever designed this tactic is a total genius. Next, the webs rip up floor plates, sending massive debris flying at Kang. He realizes they are closing in. Dark spikes erupt, forcing him to jump. He still cannot find the webmaster, so he searches for the source. Suddenly, he spots her. It is Ha, the star disciple of the Academy. Trust me, you and I are going to want to see this showdown. All right, let's dive into this, as Kang prepares to fight them all alone. He grips his new daggers, ready to unleash hell from afar. One blast rips through the crowd, pure, overwhelming power on display. Kang explains his secret. These twin daggers double his attack potency. He strolls through the sky, casually admiring the absolute chaos he just caused. Down below, everyone is totaled. Even Manager Park thought his life ended. Kang tells them to quit. Training? Yeah, that is definitely over. His friend agrees immediately. There is no way they can keep going. After seeing the wreckage, he asks if Kang has considered ruling the world. Kang is confused by the random question. Why the sudden topic change, man? Park thinks the first hero king could easily do it, since nobody can ever match him. Kang just shrugs it off. We need to get out of here fast. Outside, Park rallies the others. They only lost because they blacked out, right? He tells Kang they will always be there if he needs more training fodder. Now pay attention here, Kang's system just went off. Something big is happening. The alternative history tower is calling, and General Kilgore is begging for his help. Kang remembers their broadcast fight. Seeing Kilgore like this is actually shameful. Still, he knows if he refuses, a tower break will ruin everything. The consequences would be devastating, so Kang decides it is time for action. His friend is shocked. You really have to leave this second, Kang. Kang nods. He is catching the next flight to the United States. Park is left behind, wondering what kind of mess Kang is entering. But Kang ignores the chatter and heads straight into the tower world. He finds Kilgore, and the guy looks like he is about to panic. Kang mocks him, asking when Kilgore became so curious about this tower world. Kilgore nearly jumps out of his skin. How did Kang even get here? He is certain this tower has zero link to South Korea. Kang smirks. The general denies begging for help. He'd never ask Kang for anything. Kang quickly realizes his monarch tricked him. He admits his mistake and apologizes. He is already standing right here, so he might as well help Kilgore out. Now watch this. A brand new system alert pops up on the screen. His system alerts him that fighters are battling for freedom and seeking a chance. Kilgore finally softens up. He actually thanks Kang for offering a hand. He claims as a man from a free nation, forgiveness for these enemies is not an option. He admits Kang is a good player. Just this once, they will be partners. Kang knows Kilgore usually cooperates, but the general is clearly torn inside. He realizes Kilgore is worried about total destruction, but sees a silver lining. This entire mess might actually be a good thing for everyone involved. When facing a tyrant, everyone unites. It is the perfect common cause. But Kang hates imperialism. He reminds Kilgore about working with a gravedigger. Kilgore hates that jab. The reminder of his past mistakes really stings him. Kang keeps pushing. Joining forces proves the general is actually scared. Even if Kilgore hated the gravedigger, he still teamed up because of Kang. Joining forces proves the general is terrified. Kang gives him a final warning. And that's where we leave it. The two head off for more action. All right, stay with me. They're off on a mission looking like literal gods. Kang quickly gets into character, while Kilgore demands these new men reveal who they are. Their captain steps forward, calling himself Lieutenant Aldo Pitt. He leads a unit called the Bastards, part of the local forces of the nation of Kitten, from the Free Alliance. Kang looks around, asking how they ended up here instead of a military base. Kilgore takes over, asking about the current situation. Aldo explains that the trash from the Pugsy Empire has them completely surrounded. Kang just shrugs, saying that was pretty much expected. They're deep in enemy territory, right? So the main character glances outside and gets a shock. The enemies aren't necromancers, Aldo quickly explains. Necromancers are usually top-tier troops, so they always place themselves in the middle of things. These guys aren't. Now watch this. Kilgore tells them to let the enemies take their time. His crew has one goal: wipe out every single one of them. This really hypes up the general. He says he'll explain the plan to them right now. Kilgore declares they'll go out and kill every enemy in sight. He also orders them to show zero mercy. With that, they charge out completely pumped for battle. The Pugsy Empire's elite squad has the field completely surrounded. The general joins his team, but the men are shocked to see him fighting with just a shield. Kilgore tells them to follow, promising the shield will protect them all. They follow, shouting about fighting for freedom. The main character thinks it feels great being free. But he just watches Kilgore and the others do all the work. They absolutely massacre the army. From a rooftop, Kang spots something fishy. He goes to investigate and quickly hunts down the snipers. On the ground, Kilgore handles the soldiers. He sees Kang giving them air support from above while he and the others fight below. The main character jumps from rooftop to rooftop, clearing out snipers. Then Kilgore comes over. He reminds the main character that he told him to be ruthless. Kang replies that if they're dead, he's happy. But the general disagrees strongly. He says every enemy soldier must suffer. He wants a brutal death for every enemy on the field. This way, any survivors will know exactly who they're up against, and terror will spread. You saw that? He sounds just like a movie villain. Suddenly, an air invasion begins. His allies are terrified, but not the general. He declares he'll show them real air power. Kilgore uses his summoning skills, just like he did against Kang in the tower. He summons his F-23s, named Diablo. An intense air battle kicks off, but the enemy jets stand no chance. The F-23s absolutely obliterate them all. The allies cheer for their victory. They celebrate, thanking the players for the win. Now Kilgore tells them to remember their duty, what it takes to keep the peace. The main character thinks it's all trash. But the general insists that war is the only way to peace. Kang immediately shot back, arguing that real peace comes from not fighting. But the general wasn't budging. Anyway, the Continental Conquest Tower was finally clean. Meanwhile, across the world, a powerful player stood face to face with his enemies. Trust me, it gets wild. All right, stick with me, because he just finished his twisted, dark masterpiece. He had one final request for the immortal monarch, a delay in history. The monarch actually allowed this tiny moment of self-indulgence. Just like that, the gravedigger's big return was officially put on hold. He promised to prove his loyalty to the monarch very soon. Back with our heroes, the general kept pushing for a preemptive war. He claimed starting wars was the only path to peace and ordered more attacks. But the protagonists started worrying. Are they actually attacking their own allies? They kept pushing forward. Kilgore mentioned how he loved the smell of napalm. Kang pointed out the whole place just reeked of gasoline. The general snapped back, saying that was exactly what he meant. He called it the smell of victory. Honestly, pretty pathetic attitude. Kilgore asked Lieutenant Aldo Pitt for the enemy command base coordinates. It was hidden in the Pahai Empire, specifically the nation of Kitten, inside a massive skyscraper in the city of White York. Kilgore was shocked. had the heart of the alliance really been occupied? Aldo confirmed it. Even the crest of liberty had been replaced by a statue of their governor-general. This news sent the general into a total rage. He wanted that statue down. Now pay attention here, because an elite ambush was waiting for them. The 3rd Occultist Battalion was ready to strike from the shadows. Kang stepped forward, telling everyone he would handle this mess alone. Kilgore quickly decided to take a detour straight for the enemy command base. But the necromancers weren't about to let them escape that easily. Seeing the situation, the protagonist called Blackie to join the fray. But the cat refused to eat these zombies, claimed they tasted bland. Kang realized these zombies were actually innocent detainees turned into undead. Now he understood why they were gnashing their teeth in pain. He wondered why the world had so many madmen, but his cat said he wasn't one to talk. Blackie asked if his actions were really any different. Kang tried to argue back, insisting that their goals were completely opposite. Blackie simply stated that humans just make their lives more complicated. Eventually, Kang had to agree. Humans really are a different breed. Regardless, he decided to face the entire zombie horde by himself. Watch closely now as he charges in, and the system alerts him. A zombie fungus is on his blade. He keeps slashing away. Suddenly, the zombies he hit turn on their own masters. The cultists try to run, but their own summons devour them alive. Kang watches the chaos as someone asks if he finally sees necromancy's power. The mortician wonders who would believe the hero king caused this. Kang points out there is also an American general standing right there. It's George Belmere, and he's furious about Kilgore being in his territory. But he tells Kang to forget that and starts bragging instead. He shows off his uniform, bragging that it looks legendary even if it is not real. And that's our cliffhanger. Kang tells him to act his age. All right, you and I see Kang telling this guy to stop being so childish. He says the uniform looks like something a terrorist would wear during a raid. The mortician notices Kang's demonic powers, but he's confident he won't lose. He shifts into the stance of the Grave Lord. Kang is genuinely confused. How did a busy CEO like him end up with legendary powers? The old man wonders the same, seeing Kang with that Plague Lord's lamp. He notes Kang's heritage and claims that the lamp should have been his. Ready for fight, Kang swaps his deck, trading summons for his ice skills. The jerk asks if Kang thinks he can win without using Monarch strength. Kang replies that there is just no point in fighting a weak necromancer. The villain snaps back that the hero king's tongue got sharp while away. With monarchs watching from high above, the real battle finally gets underway. The old man's power instantly nullifies the poison Kang used on the zombies. He declares that all ashes are destined to return to the earth. He sends a massive skeletal army, but Kang activates a powerful darkness skill. The system alerts that Kang's evasion and dexterity just shot way up. The jerk knows Kang is resistant to darkness, but he isn't worried yet. His skeletons are weak, but he claims he can see every single move. He argues that necromancers are actually quite dangerous in close combat battle scenarios. Now watch this. As he attacks, he realizes Kang used an illusion. That ice sword is real. Kang tells him appearances can be very deceiving. He knew the old man trusted invisible beings and wanted to test him. The old man is totally annoyed, cursing his luck for running into Kang. He thought it was foolish to waste such a rare opportunity like this. He vowed to win next time, but then a strange feeling hit hard. He quickly realized that there might not actually be a next time here. He doubted players could really die inside the tower, but fear grew. The old man screams in pure despair as the system flashes a warning. The immortal monarch has officially blocked York's only path out of the tower. Meanwhile, our protagonist Kang is busy mocking the defeated monarch with zero mercy. The immortal monarch watching takes a hit. Kang loves seeing the other reactions. Then his system pops up. He cleared the alternate history of the tower. For his victory, he receives a new accessory called the Executioner's Pledge. Trust me, you and I both know that Kang is heading home now. News of his crazy accomplishments has already spread across the entire world. In an interview, Kang says he was just answering an important person's call. He uses the spotlight to send a direct message right to York himself. He asks if York had to find help just to compete with him. York is watching these provocations on screen, and he is absolutely fuming now. He immediately orders his assistant to send a message to Mr. Lee right away. York tells him that he will need to visit South Korea very soon. Back at the interview, Kilgore finally tells Kang to just shut his mouth. Kang casually apologizes, saying he has a bad habit of talking to cameras. You and I want to hear from the general now, as reporters gather. The general declares that as a patriot, he only has one thing to say. Let us watch our hero roast a guy who thinks he is a saint. Kang never missed a chance to annoy him. Suddenly, a few serious men walked up to him and demanded he come along. He instantly figured they were from the CIA. They showed their badges, so he straight up asked if they were even real. Kilgore confirmed it. Kang pointed out their lives usually depended on staying hidden. Was it okay to show their faces like this? An agent told him to stop messing around and cooperate, but he refused. He claimed his boss warned him never to follow strangers. He even added he would rather follow Kilgore than the agency. But then, the agent snatched him and used force. CIA. But then, the agent snatched him and dragged him away by force. Kilgore quickly lied to everyone, saying this was for his safety to calm down the press, who witnessed everything. Photos of our main character getting captured went. Watch closely, because Park immediately started tracking his location and calling him, but could not get through. Meanwhile, the agents hauled him to a secret house in New York City. They informed our main character that they were prepping a private VIP jet just for him by tomorrow. He wondered if a private jet was really necessary. The agent explained it was already March, and a normal flight would just put more people at risk of a terrorist attack. So he suggested using a tower to reach Korea. But the agents shot that down fast, saying no such tower exists in the US. They did find one that connected directly to North Korea, but that was definitely off limits. It could start a full-blown war. He asked for some sleep before his flight. But the moment he closed his eyes, the agents completely freaked out. He immediately wanted to know the problem. This time, one of the agents explained that something very strange was happening with this entire situation. HQ even approved sharing the secret info with him. Then, the agent handed over the details for him to see. You and I saw that coming. He was horrified by the gruesome crime scene photos. The images looked like a horror movie. It happened in East Harlem nearby, just 4 hours after he cleared his last tower. He examined the card left at the scene. He knew the face collector had appeared again. But he wondered why now, and why here of all places. He felt this was a direct attack, a deliberate provocation. Then our hero stood up instantly, making the agents nervous. He declared he was going to teach this guy a lesson. He told them not to just stand there. They needed to show him the location, since the great agency apparently found the killer already. So quickly. Meanwhile, in the middle of New York City, the killer known as the Face Collector was doing his best work. The Mirror Monarch thanked him. With that, the psychopath took on the face of a woman. He received a new order. The time had come and mistakes were not allowed. Soon, he confirmed to someone named M that he understood. The Mirror Monarch encouraged him, saying he could become anything. Even a legendary king hero. This made him analyze the true powers of the Abyss. He knew some players in the Abyss. Also called Stick With Me, we are just starting to uncover the mystery of the Abyss. All right, you and I are diving into a world where players hide everything. They even wipe their names off the leaderboards to stay completely anonymous. Known as Abyss Powers, these guys are often high-level secret agents. They represent different countries or elite special operations forces operating in shadows. Or even worse, they could be brutal criminals hiding until their next strike. The Collector was exactly that, a monster famous for his massive body count. He butchered countless players from the Heavenly Kingdom before vanishing without a trace. Kang realized that if he had known they would meet, he would have asked more. Now it finally made sense why he was called to the United States Tower. This was a total setup. They wanted Kang and the Collector in one room. Eventually, they arrived at the target location to find the killer's trail. Kang scanned the empty streets, seeing how the agents had locked down everything. But right away, his gut told him the killer was not actually here yet. Reaching the photo spot, Kang reminded everyone that he is no detective. He is a fighter, and he started wondering why they even needed him here. Now watch this part closely. Things are about to get really twisted. An agent pulls out a skin mask and fits it onto a corpse. Suddenly, the body stands up. Then, every corpse in the room starts rising. Shocked, Kang demands to know what kind of sick game they are playing. The agent just smirks, tossing the question right back at our confused hero. More agents begin putting on their own skin masks as the truth drops. This whole mission was a calculated trap to catch the king hero. But Kang was already one step ahead, expecting a betrayal like this one. He readies himself for a massive brawl against these creepy, masked agents. He declares that a king hero's true specialty is walking into traps. With a grin, he draws his dual blades and charges straight into battle. Those transformed freaks begin to close in, but Kang is ready to fight. He swiftly carves through one foe, then follows up with a lightning-fast strike. He plants a heavy kick right into another attacker's chin, sending them flying. He blocks a sudden sword swing with his arm as the room gets noisy. You feel that tension, right? Because they all think their power is unbeatable. Kang's eyes widen as he sees them all moving like mindless, creepy zombies. He puts a hand on his hip and smiles, calling the situation bizarre. Then, a voice from the back scoffs that Kang isn't actually that strong. Apparently, M is the only one who actually recognizes our powerful protagonist here. Kang demands to know who this M is, the boss of this secret organization. The voice confirms it, bragging about killing countless players from the celestial realm. They claim they can handle anyone, even without their mysterious leader around. Kang pulls out a dagger, admitting this guy might be a real hassle. Suddenly, the opponent snaps his fingers, and the entire room begins to warp. The voice tells him not to worry as the environment shifts around them. They are transported to a massive arena that looks just like a coliseum. Kang immediately identifies this as a barrier ability, creating a pocket dimension. Looking disgusted, he realizes the face collector planned this entire ambush perfectly. And trust me, you and I won't want to miss this legendary showdown. Stick with me, we're about to see why this hero is a total legend. This creep actually planned to take out the Hero King. Kang spins, blocking every attack with instant ice shields, then immediately starts blasting away with his pistol. Kang's thinking, the world is literally ending, and this guy is still playing villain. It is like this guy has no clue how hard Kang works for peace. He just blasts a massive ice projectile straight into some poor opponent's face. He keeps firing, his expression totally irritated. He is officially out of patience now. The relentless enemies keep coming, but Kang drops them one by one with ice. Kang keeps his aim steady, dropping every single goon that dares to rush him. Now pay attention, this is the moment a sharp-dressed creep enters the chat. He asks what the big deal is, strolling past his frozen allies like nothing. He asks if Kang is bored. To him, watching the world burn is entertainment. With a sadistic smile, he uses his hands to shatter a frozen man's head. He wants the chaos of the first season's towers and the screams of burning. They all want that, but that is not why they are here for Kang. This absolute freak pulls a layer of skin right off the decapitated ice sculpture. He slaps the skin onto his own face and tells Kang to listen up. Calling him a wannabe punk, the villain's face shifts as he gives an evil grin. He says the world will carry on just fine, even without its golden hero. He asks if Kang really thinks the entire planet revolves around his guardian act. Kang's expression turns serious, but the villain laughs, saying the world won't end. This world won't fall easily, even if the Hero King were to disappear forever. As he speaks, his goons start charging up a dagger with dark killing energy. If one Hero King falls, a new one will just appear. That's the plan. All the enemies surge forward, but Kang effortlessly dodges the strikes with a lean. Now the villain has an idea. He will rip off Kang's face and be hero. You saw that right? Kang's done being nice. He calls the guy worthless trash. He calls him a low-level noob who never even made a boss raid. Then, Kang unleashes an explosion of raw energy, throwing his arms out wide. Nearby enemies get tossed like ragdolls, sliced to bits as the floor clears out. Kang thinks this guy shouldn't talk with such conviction when he is so weak. The opponent counters that he only skipped raids because the rewards were total trash. In his opinion, only idiots waste time on that. Kang just stares him down. If you think the world survives without me, let me drop some cold facts. Time to drop some cold hard facts. Fact number 1, I am the hero. There is only one in the entire universe, and he is standing right here. He starts charging a massive blue energy ball while stating a fact about Earth. He hurls the power, declaring that the Earth actually revolves around him alone. The conclusion is clear. The day Kang ends is the day this planet ends. After the strike, the villain is left partially frozen, screaming curses at the hero. Now our hero slowly walks up to his opponent's pathetic, frozen, broken body. He has a fact for this maniac. Compared to Kang, he is absolutely nothing. Kang shapes his ice into a deadly spear, wearing a truly sadistic look now. He is ready to end this once and for all. It is game over. His hands freeze into spears. You and I just saw Hero go demon mode. All right, let's watch our hero deliver a brutal spear strike to the gut. This clown actually thought he was invincible just because of some edgy nickname. But Kang has zero respect for the abyss, calling it a talentless wasteland. To his surprise, the enemy body he just defeated explodes into glass shards. Kang's eyes go wide as a mysterious shadow appears in the arena back. The villain has possessed a new host, a girl with long pink hair. He screams that he's done hiding and vows to rip Kang's face off. Kang just laughs, asking if this psycho is serious about trying to kill him. He says this freak clearly needs a massive beatdown to learn some respect. The villain lunges forward, daring Kang to try and land a single punch. With glowing eyes, he brags that Kang's moves are super easy to dodge. But right mid-sentence, his entire body just falls apart as his limbs detach. He slams face first into the dirt, staring in shock at his severed arms. Pay attention here, it turns out a hidden cutting web worked perfectly. Kang mocks him, asking if he forgot the rule, always hide your trap. Kneeling over him, Kang asks how it feels to get wrecked by villain tactics. Just because he bullied some weak players doesn't mean he's actually got skills. The girl's face literally tears away, showing the villain's true form underneath. Kang explains those fighters only lost because they weren't heartless enough to kill. They were legendary heroes who should have never been taken down by trash. With his eyes turning pitch black, Kang thanks the villain for showing up. Cold energy swirls as he begins shaping a deadly ice blade in his palm. Kang mentions he's not sure if the villain knows he's the Hero King. Don't blink, because a massive scarlet aura suddenly swallows his entire body. A violent explosion rips through the structure, shaking the foundations to the core. Out on the street, civilians are screaming and scrambling to find any cover. Police and elite special forces units are already swarming the area at speed. They're shouting orders, desperately searching for any sign of the Hero King. But as they burst inside, every single agent freezes in their tracks. They are absolutely speechless. The entire place has been turned into disaster. One nervous agent aims his gun and screams at Kang to surrender now. Kang doesn't even flinch, just coldly asking if they're a bit late here. The blonde agent in shades is sweating bullets, clearly terrified of the hero. With a trembling voice, he tries to repeat his order once more. Hands in the air, but suddenly, someone reaches out and grabs the gun. A calm voice tells him to stand down. It's actually General Kilgore. He looks at the carnage and demands Kang tell him what happened here. Kang explains that the villain was the one who set this whole trap. The face collector was waiting, so Kang just did his job and won. Trust me, you and I know the CIA can still identify this body. But Kilgore looks suspicious, doubting if this is actually the infamous face collector. Kilgore drops a bomb. The CIA claims Kang used that barrier technique himself. Kang snaps back, explaining he was kidnapped and ambushed right after the tower. He warns them to never even mention that barrier to him again. He's completely lost it. Stick with me, we are about to see Kang roast Kilgore for being an idiot. The spy probably already ran off, which really ticks off the angry general here. Kang thinks General Kilgore might be involved in this mess and draws his sword. He draws his sword closer, while Kilgore watches silently with a very worried look. Kilgore puts a hand to his head and asks if Kang really suspects him. Kilgore asks if he would seriously send a collector after him. That is dumb. It is unbelievable. Kang sighs because that makes sense. They leave the building now. Kang asks if he can finally go home. Some CIA guy promised a jet. At a small airport, a plane waits on the tarmac. Kang steps off now. He has his arms wide, ready to greet Mr. Ray Park at the airport. Kang immediately teases his friend about how he deals with so much hair loss. Mr. Park shoots back, blaming it on some crazy idiot causing trouble every day. Kang puts on a pitiful face and claims he is saving humanity from villains. He argues that this is not how a legendary hero deserves to be treated. Mr. Park just hugs him. The media is already buzzing about the whole fight. Kang bets they are just spreading nonsense. News reports begin flashing on the screen. Kang Yusung gets all the credit for defeating the Collector with a legendary performance. Everyone wonders if he is truly the king of heroes. It is finally night. Our protagonist finally gets to relax in his apartment with a drink in hand. He stares at the horizon. It is already March and Kang has bad feelings. Those jerks seem completely unconcerned. He checks the news page on his phone now. He scrolls through his feeds while remembering a warning about some dangerous terrorist attacks. Someone told him that people could be exposed to attacks and asked for understanding. He also recalls a past conversation with Mr. Park about players getting much stronger. They talked about squads in Russia already waging massive wars against each other now. So he opens his status window, then his equipment, and finally his personal inventory. He taps his chin, wondering if the shop will finally open. He is talking pay attention here. He is wondering if that level 8 tower finally opens. In Season 1, a boss appeared there. Then in Season 2, it broke. It wiped out the world map. Now our hero hits the accept button. He gets an Executioner's Oath ring. This gear reveals an enemy's weakness 3 times. This heroic level gear hits enemies with a reveal weakness debuff 3 times. You saw that, right? The Death Monarch's rewards are seriously good for him. Maybe it is because he loved seeing the immortal monarch get humiliated like that. Since he is already on a roll, he decides to open a card pack. The Hero King has 7 random card packs and opens them all right now. He uses his Frost Kai energy, but every card is completely normal today. Nothing special here. He feels unlucky and looks at his cold, frozen weapon today. He knows Frost skills get a buff from the Ice Blacksmith connection he has. A notification asks if he wants to open 3 attribute packs. He says no. Kang is level 58 and dominates the Infinite Labyrinth with his legendary titles. He wields a deck of assassin skills and remains an unstoppable force during season. The kid is becoming a total legend during this wild Season 6 run now. He scratches his chin, checking 5 stacks of assassination warnings on his amulet today. Trust me, you and I need to see how he uses those 3 oaths. All right, you and I are about to see this hero build a legendary full stack. 2 days fly by and we're checking a player forum where a strange drawing appears. A hooded figure with 2 spears and masks is haunting the level 3 to 5 towers. Get this, he actually cries before he kills. The internet comments are absolutely losing it. Users are slinging insults like any typical toxic forum. It's just total chaos online. The man with glasses scrolls through his phone, laughing at the state of this. He can't believe the Hero King would actually be in this chat, but it's him. Still, he thinks whoever's posting these clearly has way too much free time. He glances back at the forum. He's going to find these trolls no matter what. He's ready to deal with them. Next, he opens a new tab about the association. People are ripping into the association workers, calling them totally useless and pathetic. They want them fired immediately. This gets him heated as he watches the streets. People are living their normal lives until something suddenly grabs their attention. Look. Now pay attention, because even couples in the middle of a hug stop dead. Stunned by the sight, men in suits start moving through the area quickly. Onlookers wonder why the Reaper is showing up. A stylish, blonde man steps out. He declares he's heading into the tower to fight and settle this once and for all. He tells his team to capture him immediately. This elegant man is leader Lee Hyuk. The Reaper himself looks dead serious, wondering how someone dares break his rules. He keeps his word and storms into the arena tower to confront the target. He asks the hooded figure if he's the villain causing trouble for the rookies. The crybaby villain just replies that the Reaper took his sweet time, finally showing up. He jokes that his robe was so hot he had to cover it in ice. Lee Hyuk is totally shocked. He recognizes that voice instantly, and it's bad. He can't believe the villain could actually be him. The figure sheds his robe, revealing metallic blue frozen armor. He says they never showed the hero king respect. Since everyone loves the crying, he'll give them exactly what they asked for. He's mirroring those nasty online comments. The Reaper is getting visibly nervous now. His voice trembles as he tells him to calm down, making excuses for them. He claims they were only following orders. The Ice Knight lifts his mask. He asks if the comments were true. You saw that coming, right? He reveals his face as the hero king, confirming the blonde guy's suspicions. Without his armor, the protagonist shows his true form and charges an energy ball. He has no reason to go easy on him. His eyes glow with fierce power. Lee Hyuk claps his hands over his mouth, drenched in sweat from pure fear. Kang starts crying dramatically, just like the rumors. Then he launches his spear. It pierces straight through his opponent. He wins the first battle effortlessly. He exits the tower, only to walk straight into an ambush by the Reaper. The Reaper's men shout orders to stop him. Kang just laughs it off easily. He watches the association members and asks a very pointed question. Are you guys having another day of acting like total doormats? All the men look shocked to see the villain was actually the hero king. The Reaper shouts that regulations forbid high-level players from hunting rookies. But our hero just points to himself, asking a very simple question. And that's where we leave it. Trust me, you and I need to see what's next. All right, you and I are about to watch our hero throw a tantrum because he's not allowed in the arena. All those men in suits just stare the guy down with looks of pure judgment. He asks if he broke the law or if he's just supposed to sit around doing nothing. He crosses his arms, annoyed, and says the association isn't the law, so their rules don't apply. If the Reaper has an issue, he should try and stop him, but he can't. The blonde guy actually backs down, completely unable to even look the hero king in the eye. His friends are totally lost. Kang just turns away, done with their nonsense. He declares he's going after everyone who called him a crybaby online for a real beating. Kang throws the men in suits a sarcastic, mysterious side eye as he walks off. He tells them the world will soon see how useless the AJC is, since he ignores penalties. He doesn't give a damn about their points. One guy in a suit is absolutely fuming. He's grinding his teeth in pure rage, but he knows he's completely powerless here. Suddenly, one of them speaks up, making Kang stop in his tracks to listen. The guy with the bowl cut admits he was the one posting those crybaby comments online. He puffs out his chest, finding a tiny bit of courage to challenge the hero king. He dares Kang to come after him first, and his boldness actually inspires the others. Even though they're shaking, they all start admitting to being toxic trolls on the forums. One screams that he even said Kang was begging for milk and was totally worthless. The Reaper slowly stands up, cursing his companions for their sudden burst of idiocy. Together, they declare that today the Reapers will finally team up to stop this crybaby villain. Now watch this. Kang looks at their determination with total disdain and simply asks if they're having fun. They all head straight into the arena tower for the big showdown. Night falls, and before you know it, they're already walking back out. Kang waves goodbye to his opponents, thanking them for all those easy points. He tells them he'll put those new skill cards they gave him to good use. Savage. Back home, Kang checks his notifications. That new card finally completes his second deck. But just as he starts reviewing his cards, something totally unexpected interrupts the moment. I know what you're thinking. Where's he going? He's being teleported straight to the throne of the end. The surprised boy yells out in shock as he floats through an endless galaxy of stars. His body feels weightless. Then, he reaches a place filled with a very strange energy. As he descends into the darkness, he's lit only by the aura surrounding his body. But soon, the true nature of this mysterious place finally reveals itself. He is standing amidst a group of hooded figures, and they welcome him. The boy gulps. He realizes he's reached the throne of the end, where all 999 monarchs gather. With a serious look, he asks these monarchs why they even summoned him here. Suddenly, a golden light flares in front of him, catching our hero off guard. A hooded man in golden robes appears, telling him that as the game's monarchs, they truly want to apologize. The masked man extends a hand to him, but Kang just smiles with a look of doubt. He tells them they've got so much to apologize for that he's honestly lost count. The monarch explains that when Kang fought Gork, he had already finished that tower. Kang only stayed in that world because of a temporary blessing that let him remain. Kang listens closely, asking for more details about how this whole situation happened. The monarch explains that this blessing only happened because all of them agreed. They desperately wanted to watch the duel, but then a monarch interrupted the fight. And trust me, you and I are about to find out exactly why. Stick with me, the Undertaker is out, and the other monarchs are absolutely furious. The immortal monarch faced brutal heat for ruining everyone's fun. During the trial, he claimed Kang's blade ignored the rule against killing players inside a tower. He even hinted Kang was a murderer. The monarch insisted he was just protecting rules. But our hero King fired back, swearing he would never ever kill another player. But that man laughed it off, saying the chance was never zero. That caught Kang off guard. Our lead is a monarch slayer for a reason. He did not get that terrifying name for being a nice guy in these towers. Anxious, Kang asked about the verdict. Out of 999 monarchs, 995 found him innocent. Kang just stood there scratching his head. He wondered why he was even there if the decision was already made. Then the hooded figure dropped a bombshell. One high monarch actually found him guilty. Because of that single vote, the immortal monarch was facing a truly brutal punishment. He had to pay for his crimes, but this also meant a special reward for Kang. The hooded man looked at our hero with a grin that screamed bad news. Kang cautiously asked if this was the compensation they had promised him. Watch this, a blinding golden light suddenly exploded and filled the whole room. The man reminded Kang that everything in this game always revolved around him. In a flash, the hero king was warped straight to the immortal monarch's tower. This zone had a weird rule. If you die here, you just get kicked outside. Panicking, Kang realized he had not even touched his build settings yet. If this reward was a forced tower raid, he was in massive trouble. But wait, there was no raid happening. Frustrated, Kang just threw his hands up. He screamed out, demanding to know what he was even supposed to do here. Suddenly, a mysterious voice called his name. He spun around, searching for the source. The voice told him to look down. Kang crouched but saw absolutely nothing. The voice spoke again. Kang was on guard, but the voice asked if he was a player. He confirmed it. The voice warned him about the countless players who died here. It warned him that this territory was incredibly dangerous for anyone who entered. It offered help, but our hero was already reaching for his ice sword. A frost blast erupted, sending a talking skeleton head flying through the air. The skull shrieked, asking if he was trying to rip its head off for real. Kang grabbed the head, thinking that a talking skull is way too cliché for an RPG. The skull just laughed and grinned, welcoming him to a world where death is meaningless. But Kang was lost. If death does not exist here, how do you even leave? How do players return home after they are defeated in this nightmare land? The skull explained the truth. You die, but here's where it gets wild. No matter how you perish, everyone just revives at the stroke of midnight. As for the skull, it always respawns with its face buried in the sand. To Kang, that made zero sense. This entire mess was caused by the local ruler. The great immortal emperor sacrificed this entire world just to gain ultimate power. To become a monarch, you must give up what you love the most. He loved his empire above all else, so a permanent curse fell upon the land. Now, death is impossible. Kang thinks the emperor just loved himself above everything else. Trust me, you and I are about to see how he survives this nightmare. All right, you and I are diving into the hunt for some legendary rewards. The skull suggests hitting the Imperial Palace. Apparently, it is absolutely packed with treasures. Even better, there are 0 guards because nobody even bothers trying to loot this place anymore. Kang spots an ancient castle ahead, but a massive skeleton army is marching closer. He demands to know what is happening. The skull just laughs and calls them friends. It claims they are just here to keep things interesting and says goodbye to our hero. But Kang is not worried. He sees an endless experience farm. Time for some serious grinding. He calls his companion, and they both charge headfirst into the sea of bones. The battle is pure chaos, but Kang is leveling up at insane speeds. This is basically a walk in the park. He is having a total blast here. But pay attention, because as the sky darkens, things are about to get weird. Looking over the bone-littered battlefield, he realizes it is almost midnight. The defeated skeletons suddenly vanish into thin air. Then, like total magic, they return. The full army is back, regrouped and ready for round 2 right in front. Kang realizes this is a respawn point. They come back every night for more punishment. He is actually excited. This is the perfect place to level up and enjoy himself. Walking further into the wasteland, our protagonist finds something unexpected, a hidden oasis. He spends his points and an awakening stone to finally unlock the sword manipulation skill. This broken ability imbues his blade with fire and grants total control. With his new fire-infused swords and having reached level 69, he is ready. It is the perfect moment to start the real treasure hunt inside that creepy castle. The skull's eyes literally glow. It says the Emperor's treasure is waiting. They are about to get filthy rich. But then, the moon changes in a strange way. Now here is where you and I should start worrying. Check out that purple light. The eerie glow starts revealing something hidden deep within the waters of the oasis. Kang just sighs, clearly unimpressed by the drama. He is not feeling the hype. He sarcastically mocks how threatening the castle looks before slowly moving in for a look. The ground turns into slick puddles. He has to cross the entire lake first. He gets absolutely soaked, eventually reaching a point where the water gets too deep. He ducks his head under, thinking he will be furious if this leads to nothing. When they surface, the skull lets out a relieved shriek, terrified of the water. It claims it almost died and turned back into sand. Kang just gives it a look. He deadpans, asking if skulls even breathe. He tells the thing to just stop talking. He just wants the treasure, but the skull's entire mood shifts in an instant. It screams the immortal emperor's name as Kang's eyes widen in pure shock. Ahead of them sits a grand, terrifying throne. The skull suddenly changes its tune. It declares its loyalty to the Empire and brags about bringing a raider to him. That massive throne radiates pure sinister energy. It is a total boss room vibe. A giant sword is stuck in the floor before an armored knight sitting perfectly still. Suddenly, the Emperor's eyes flicker to life with a chilling sky-blue glow. He is awake. Kang tosses the skull aside and prepares for the fight of his life. This immortal emperor is the real deal, a top-tier warrior and powerful necromancer. But something is off. It seems the emperor is just an empty shell. Kang activates his absolute darkness skill, ready to end this right now. And trust me, you and I are about to see a legendary clash. Let's dive and look at that purple light blasting from the Emperor's sword. That shockwave of wind slams into Kang, shoving him back across the floor. Eerie purple light floods the room as this legendary battle officially begins. The immortal Emperor doesn't hesitate, channeling dark energy with his free hand. Purple magic curses fly everywhere. Kang grips his blade, feeling the pressure. He is desperately wishing he'd swapped his skills before this fight started. He knows this will be a grind, so he starts prepping his skills. He focuses his power and unleashes a spell directly at his monstrous opponent. This hits the immortal Emperor with several nasty debuff effects. The Emperor stumbles for a moment, reeling, but he recovers almost instantly. He charges Kang again, effortlessly dodging every assault thrown his way. Kang regrets not activating his murder warning before entering this chamber. Now watch closely, because he can't even land a single hit like this. Worse yet, several hooded spirits fly straight out of the Emperor's sword. These are the stolen souls of the dead, fueling the Emperor's sword aura. Kang defends with his ice sword, but the attacks are coming too fast. Suddenly, the Emperor closes in from behind, raising both hands to strike. He lunges for a lethal blow, but Kang spots it just in time. His eyes flash as the Emperor brings down that gigantic cursed blade. Kang blocks the damage, but just touching the metal triggers a curse. Nasty debuffs like Malign Touch and Speed Reduction hit him right now. These curses are a total headache on top of the Emperor's unique skills. To survive, he has no choice but to activate Celestial Demon's Fall. This skill grants him the powers of the ancient celestial demons forever. While defending, he wonders if he can absorb his enemy's actual memories. He wants a portion of the immortal Emperor's centuries of battle experience. At the perfect moment, Kang locks his twin swords onto the Emperor's blade. Check this out, he shoves the boss back with incredible force. With his eyes glowing and a powerful aura shimmering, Kang looks confident. Scenes from a forgotten era start flashing through his mind like visions. He sees a young boy training alone with a massive, heavy greatsword. These are the secret memories of the immortal Emperor himself. They transfer to Kang mid-fight, but the Emperor gives him no quarter. He instantly prepares another strike, raising his massive sword once again. Kang already recognizes the attack from the memories he just absorbed. His precious skill is working perfectly. He smirks, ready to dominate now. Every time their blades clash, he dissects and steals their combat techniques. Countering the immortal Emperor's moves has become much easier for Kang. He even mocks his opponent, asking what his next move will be. By now, he's fully mastered all of the Emperor's hidden attack patterns. The Emperor reels back as Kang flies in for a deadly strike. His sword streaks across, glowing blue as they both trade heavy blows. They both crash into the dirt as the sound of impact echoes out. And trust me, that's a moment you and I will never forget. The body struck by his sword finally begins to slowly disintegrate. You and I are jumping right into the climax of this epic battle. His frozen blade shatters. Kang crashes down, landing feet first on the enemy's skull. This triggers the death mark keyword, finally ending the mission. He stacks the weakness revelation debuff 5 times, hitting the max limit. But suddenly, the immortal Emperor's body floats up, leaking dark, sinister energy. A white-haired man stares at his trembling hands, begging not to die. A young woman gently covers him. She promises that if he listens now, even death itself can never touch him. Our main character witnesses this scene. Kang recognizes that voice from his past, but there is no time. Our hero regains his focus and starts charging pure energy in his palm. Now watch closely, this is where the real monster shows its face. From behind the broken mask, a skeleton glares back. Kang ends this fast. He needs to ensure the Emperor stays dead forever this time. But a desperate, suffocating voice screams about not wanting to face the end. It claims this empire belongs to him alone. Kang just fires his beam. The energy blasts through the Emperor's chest. He howls in final agony. Our hero bows respectfully as the entire tower world begins its collapse. Timers ticking down, 179 seconds, then skeletal feet approach him. A familiar voice praises him, but Kang is not buying this sweet talk. He glares at the treacherous skull. This was no ordinary, low-level servant. This thing had tricked the Emperor ages ago. Its sins are finally exposed. The main character ignores the flattery. Show me the treasure and do it fast. The skull hands over a rare card pack full of ghost and curse skills. Plus, he gets the Emperor's black armor and a king's domination blessing. You and I can see Kang's happy with the loot, but questions remain. He asks what it meant by him saving it. The skull explains the curse. The resurrection curse died with the emperor. No one is coming back anymore. Kang asks if the falling ceiling will kill him. The skeleton just laughs. If he dies here, he'll simply return to his own original world instead. That was the monarch's promise. This news catches Kang off guard immediately. He demands to know how it knew that, but the skull just waves. Its eyes shine as the building crumbles. Later, our hero is safely home. He reviews his massive gains and new builds while relaxing on his bed. Time to try on that legendary armor he looted from the Emperor's corpse. He opens the settings screen. Deck number 3 is finally ready for action. Kang grins. The rewards are insane. That skeleton was surprisingly generous after all. But that goodbye felt off, like the skull knew they'd meet again soon. He wonders about its true identity. Suddenly, a call comes from Mr. Park. He picks up and gets an earful. His rank is totally exploding. He is skyrocketing on the boards. Kang says he found a spot. Even at level 69, the level 8 towers are still locked for now. He only needs 20% more experience for his second awakening to trigger. Truly the king of heroes, right? Park laughs, calling him the Monarch King. Kang goes silent for a moment before forcing a weak, very awkward laugh. And that's where we leave it, trust me, things are just getting started. Bridge 1, stick with me, because you and I are entering a bizarre tower. Players who entered this place abruptly gave up on raiding and stayed inside. Once they emerge, they claim they must protect the tower. Park finds it weird. He thinks they lost their minds. High mind resistance is needed to check it. Kang realizes he has a blessing for massive mind resistance called Crystal Clarity. It boosts mental strength by 108 points. He needs that name. Kang decides to head for the Tower of Peace, rocking his new armor. As soon as he arrives, he sees a totally normal, peaceful village. Kids and families are on the streets, but here is the sick twist. The raid objective is to slaughter everyone. Talk about a messed up mission. Suddenly, a voice calls out. A group of hooded men are standing there. Bridge 2, now pay attention. This is where you and I witness a dark moment. Suddenly, a voice calls out. A group of hooded men in long robes appear. They are standing there staring. Kang whips around with a dead serious face. The men just welcome him, and Kang notes how peaceful the village seems. The bearded old man keeps a serious look, but agrees with Kang. He tells Kang that he must be there on the monarch's dark orders. Kang does not even flinch. He gears up, putting on his full armor. He asks what they would do if he actually had come to kill. The elder explains that no one can stop him. The village is vulnerable. It is full of elderly people, children and widows with their young kids. Suddenly, the villagers start gathering, begging our hero to spare their lives. People drop to their knees. Even a young woman cradling a tiny baby kneels. She pleads for mercy. Kang tightens his grip on his twin swords now. Bridge 3, I know what you're thinking. This whole scene feels like a trap. It is a level 7 tower, which means it is incredibly tough. He asks why monarchs want them sacrificed. The elder says gods need no reason. Like stepping on a spider, you just do it. Our hero looks very suspicious. He steps closer, stating that monarchs and gods must have better things to do. Kang tells them to cut the analogies and games. They will not work. The elder bows low, asking if it truly has to come to this. He asks if it truly must come to this. Kang's voice is firm, yes. Kang charges forward, sword drawn, yelling that he also has a world. He blocks the strike with magic. The elder's true identity is finally revealed. It is a fallen angel. Kang already suspected he was in a disguise. Kang asks if they really know the Light Monarch's cold and harsh temperament. He would never let the protectors off the hook after their betrayal tonight. Angels yell back, claiming the Light Monarch ordered them to kill innocent humans. Our hero questions if they are defying orders to protect these poor people. They confirm his suspicion. Kang fixes his gaze on the angel in center. He asks if he is the leader. The angel remains silent and grave. Kang just stares the angel down. He is not under any mind control. His skills protect him. His sight and hearing are all perfectly normal here. It is not an illusion. He grips his sword tight and points it. Bridge 4, stick around, because you and I will see this mystery finally explode. All right, you and I are diving into a choice that could mean a total level 7 massacre. He considers siding with them, but then an angel breaks the silence and questions Kang Yusung directly. It asks if he truly justifies being a mere puppet for the monarchs and their actions. He removes his helmet, slowly closes his eyes, and gives a simple, chilling answer, no. That single word shocks every watching angel. Then, a woman holding a baby begins to plead. She begs him to spare the children and angels, even offering the rest as a sacrifice instead. It is a desperate trade, but our main character just hangs his head in heavy silence. He says that sometimes, you just have to choose the lesser of two evils to survive. The angel explodes in rage, asking if Kang is truly ready to sacrifice an entire world. All this just to save his own home. Our hero just raises his arms with a shrug. From where he is standing, this is actually the least terrible option for everyone involved. The angels draw their blades instantly. Nearby, the women and children huddle together in terror. They pray in pure despair while clutching each other tightly for comfort and safety. Kang remembers a hero once said if forced to choose between evils, he would choose neither. Pay attention here. This is the moment his entire plan takes a sharp, unexpected turn. The twin sword angel looks completely startled as Kang suddenly plunges his blade into the soil. The ground melts into a strange green liquid, and he looks up to scream with everything. He roars at the top of his lungs that as a player, he is quitting this raid. The room goes quiet before the Monarch of Light absolutely explodes in pure fury. But our hero king is suddenly yanked from the tower, forcefully expelled by the Light Monarch. The other monarchs just laugh, actually supporting his decision to walk away from it all. Since he failed to raid the Tower of Peace a second time, things are getting ugly. A massive level 7 tower break is looming, and Kang realizes he finally pulled it off. Let's pause and look at this. He intentionally triggered the very disaster everyone feared. They have already barricaded the location and ordered a full evacuation immediately. The zone is 5 kilometers wide. Kang calls in and tells them not to send more players. He warns they will only get in his way. On the line, the contact screams in confusion. Does he even understand the situation? This is a high-level tower, and he's not ready. He hasn't even had his second awakening yet, but Kang just shoots back with cold facts. He's faced monsters and ended wars before. He has killed plenty of things inside these towers. Mr. Park is totally exasperated and asks why he didn't just clear the tower. Why didn't he kill everyone inside? Kang just smiles, not quite sure how to answer that. He simply agrees with Park, but as he looks down, a worried frown crosses his face. He wonders why he couldn't just end them. He tells himself he should have finished it. Park warns him that this has spiraled way beyond what any single person can handle now. The call ends, leaving nothing but a heavy, tense silence hanging in the air around him. Kang gears up, puts his phone away, and feels the entire atmosphere shift for the worse. The tower break is starting. An angel appears with a blade as more soar across the horizon. The countdown hits 0. Our main character summons 2 massive swords directly from the dirt. The angels begin chanting their mantra. They believe the enemy must pay for their sins. Several of them charge at the hero with divine fury. Kang just watches them approach. He stares them down and wonders if a 5-kilometer radius is actually going to be enough. The game Monarch gives a serious warning to the Light Monarch before conjuring a massive barrier. It's for a fair fight. The Light Protector faction is trapped here until Kang Yusung dies. And trust me, you and I are about to see if he can survive this madness. All right, you and I are watching closely as he activates Shadow Wings. Now he is rocking heavy armor and massive wings, despite the old man vibe. He takes flight and summons his skeleton army as a massive clash begins. Armed skeletons and holy angels fill the sky with their earth-shattering battle. Meanwhile, our hero is locked in a fierce sword fight against a divine angel. This is going to be a tough challenge for our fearless protagonist. The battle rages on as broken bodies begin to litter the ground. His swords are steady, eyes glowing with pure confidence as he radiates power. The angel refuses to yield, launching another desperate attack to take him down. Now pay attention, because facing two powerful angels at once is no joke. The boy thrusts his blade into the ground, sparking a massive flash of light. He triggers a cadaveric explosion, detonating nearby corpses to deal massive damage. Some angels manage to survive the blast by shielding themselves with their wings. The immortal king aura kicks in, supercharging every single undead soldier nearby. They level up and grab their weapons, getting back on their feet to fight for the Emperor once more. The great Emperor General's black armor powers up their weapons, making them even more lethal. Our hero stacks buffs and poisoning skills, but the angels are still standing. Despite their power, those angels are still going strong, so Kang enchants his blade with locusts. He also commands his deck to swap out 3 of his active cards in an instant. His class switches from Cursed Sorcerer to a lethal black magic assassin. The Cursed synergy vanishes, replaced by the much more aggressive assassin synergy. With a single gesture, he activates Charlotte's web and sends the locusts forward. The insects swarm the angels, striking with more power than anyone ever expected. You see that? These locusts are tearing through the divine defense. Still, a few angels remain untouched and launch a counterattack of their own. Our hero does not blink, charging straight back into the fierce battle. He unleashes a barrage of sword slashes that land directly on his enemies. The destructive battle rages on as the sun starts to light the horizon. Suddenly, the monarch's barrier shatters as Kang wipes out every single enemy. His buffs vanish, and he successfully stops the tower from breaking at last. Our hero finally hits level 70, just as the reporters rush in. He watches the chaotic crowd charging in and summons his loyal companion. He hops onto his beast as the persistent reporters demand to know why he abandoned the raid or if he could stop the tower solo. With a friendly smile, he says he will explain everything if they calm down. But they ignore him and swarm him, asking if he quit the raid. Keeping his voice calm, he confirms it was on purpose, shocking everyone. They finally fall silent as a man from the back of the crowd asks if he is essentially confessing to a terrorist attack. Kang dismounts now, asking how this could possibly be considered a fierce terrorist act. The man who asked the question is from the group known as Scipio. They are the international player police and chose this moment to appear. This organization is also widely known for being ruthless player killers. Trust me, you and I need to watch this part very carefully. They are player killers, and he understands that perfectly. All right, you and I are about to watch a guy who looks absolutely insane. But he says not to worry, he hasn't fully lost it just yet. Giving a gentle smile, our hero explains his first dark mission in the tower. His task back then: kill everyone, including the weak and defenseless souls. If they don't believe him, he says the residents there can verify it. He chose a peaceful path instead. He tells the doubters to ask the quitters. Talk to the players who failed. A man yells, calling his actions irresponsible. Now pay attention. Here is where the tension hits a boiling point. Kang sighs, firing back that he saved the tower without a single death. To him, that's the duty of a player, protecting their entire world. But the crowd argues that the tower world might not even be real. With a sarcastic smirk, he asks them a question that shuts them up. Even if it's fake, is this world really more important than the tower? Should he just blindly follow orders and kill every innocent soul in there, including the children and everyone else who couldn't even defend themselves? He refuses. Another man asks if he is just saving his own conscience. Is he really risking the entire world just to feel good about himself? He snaps back that he assessed the situation and saved both worlds instead. If the guy is worried about park trees, he can bill the manager. To end this, he suggests they all go see a professional psychologist immediately. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. This guy's attitude, unmatched. Their fears aren't his problem, but that creepy guy in the back speaks. He warns that this moral conflict will lead to the destruction of the world. Kang just laughs. Honestly, he thinks they have much bigger problems to face. Why should he even bother saving a world that's so ungrateful anyway? The man calls Kang's actions childish and says he's holding them hostage. But Kang just mocks him. He isn't buying any of that nonsense today. Smiling, he asks how a low-tier player could ever understand a true challenger. He sheds his heavy armor, stretches out, and tells them to end things. He wants a peaceful finish. The agents exchange looks, ready to move. The moment the kid moves, they charge through the panicked civilian crowd. They rush Kang. One woman even pulls out a hairpin as a weapon. They yell that under international law, for causing a breach, player Kang is. But before they can finish, Mr. Park suddenly appears out of thin air. He yanks our protagonist into a portal. In a flash, they both vanish. They disappear into the sky, leaving the entire crowd standing there speechless. They reappear far away from the chaos, safe, at least for now. A voice declares that national law must be applied before any international rules. They're taking custody of Kang. Suddenly, a massive barrier of thorns erupts. It stops the agents cold, sharp, deadly, and impossible to pass through. So, despite everything, our hero still ends up in handcuffs after all. He remains calm, joking that a villain has to stay positive while arrested. He adds that only the small-time thugs get caught without a backup plan. A real boss always has a way out. The driver tells him hush. And trust me, you and I are about to see things get wilder. Stay with me, our hero gets rewarded just as Mr. Park pulls up. He yells for them to hop into the car before he loses any more hair. But the driver notes that statistically, Mr. Park is at that certain age. Nature is taking his hair anyway, whether he's stressed out or not. Kang just smiles, admitting he might be a little to blame for this situation. Mr. Park quickly replies that he's actually happy because of the results. Kang saved the tower from breaking without letting any major damage happen. Now pay attention. He asks exactly when the level 8 towers will open. Park hates the subject change, but he explains it depends on player strength. Towers open based on strength, and our hero, he just got a wild idea. He wasn't sure if his theory would work, but now everything just clicked. Suddenly, a massive system notification screen pops up for everyone inside the car. You saw that? It hits everyone. Every single person nearby sees it too. His efforts just unlocked level 8 and above way ahead of schedule. With that breakthrough, the chance for world peace just got much closer. The world is safer, but a man's hand trembles as he grips his mug. Deep in the infinite labyrinth, he sees the terrifying new system update. Levels 13 through 16 are active, and the world must be protected now. Trust me, we've never seen these.